My teacher accused me of cheating for 6 months straight. She had no idea what I'd been collecting the entire time. I'm literally that kid who lives for math. Numbers just make sense to me. I've been pulling the highest scores since freshman year, and by junior year, I love being the person everyone asks for help. Our old teacher used to let me grade worksheets because I'd finish so fast. Then second semester we get Miss Walter. She's young, maybe her second year teaching, and from day one she's struggling. Kids talk over her, she stutters through explanations, and keeps messing up on the board. One day she writes the answer to a formula wrong. I raise my hand politely. I think there's a small mistake. Her face goes red. Excuse me? I point at the board. The formula should have a negative b. The whole class goes quiet. She stares at me for 10 seconds, then snaps. Maybe if you paid attention instead of showing off, you'd realize I was testing you. She erases it aggressively while I sink into my chair. 2 weeks later, we have our first test. I'm working at my normal pace when suddenly she's standing over my desk. What do you think you're doing? I look up confused. Taking the test? She snatches my paper. You're cheating. I've been watching you. I'm so shocked I can't form words. She cuts me off. Put your head down. You're getting a 0. I sit there for 40 minutes trying not to cry because everyone's staring. After class, she says I can retake a different version during lunch tomorrow to prove I know the material. I stay up all night studying even though I already knew everything. She watches me like a hawk the entire time. 3 days later, she shows me the score. 100%. I feel this huge relief like finally she'll see. Instead, she goes, "This just proves you had someone give you the answers." The next day, she hands back homework. Everyone got 20 problems. Mine has 45 problems with symbols I've never seen. I go to raise my hand, but she cuts me off. "That's your assignment. You're so advanced, right?" Her eyes are cold. I stay up until 3 a.m. teaching myself calculus off of YouTube. I turn it in and she marks it 23%. Red pen across the top. Sloppy work. Everyone else's papers have smiley faces and great job stickers. My parents schedule a meeting. However, she tells them I'm disruptive and my scores were suspiciously consistent. My own parents look disappointed. Then during class, she's handing back our unit test. When she gets to me, she holds it up for everyone. This is what happens when you think you're smarter than everyone. 47%. Kids turn to look. She tapes my test to the board. Let this be a lesson about humility. I have to sit there staring at my failing grade on display. Later that class, she calls on me. "Since you're so confident, show us how it's done." I walk to the board and solve the equation. I write every step and the answer. She looks at it. "Wrong. Sit down." I'm confused because I know it's right. This other kid raises his hand. He walks up and writes the exact same answer. She smiles. "Perfect. See, class, this is how you do it correctly." My test is still taped behind her. After class, she leans down and whispers, "Maybe you're just not as smart as you think you are." Some students hit their limit. I go home and something shifts. I'm not sad anymore. I'm angry. I start documenting everything. Every test, every assignment, screenshots of homework differences. The principal calls a meeting after the 100th complaint we've each filed against the other. Ms. Walter walks in looking confident, like she's about to watch me get expelled. The principal says there are concerns about academic integrity and asks if I have anything to say. I'm shaking, but I slide my folder across the table. I can retake every test right now, different versions. I have copies of tests she gave other students the days she accused me, and they're completely different difficulty levels. She gave me questions that weren't even in our curriculum. The principal flips through while Ms. Walter stammers. He stops on a calculus assignment. "This is college material." He looks at her. "Why was this student being assessed on content outside the curriculum?" She tries saying it was enrichment, but her voice shakes. He asks me to step outside. When I come back in, his tone has changed. "I owe you an apology. This should never have happened. Your grades will be corrected." Ms. Walter stares at the table. Ms. Walter cleaned out her desk that day. I walked past and saw her shoving papers into boxes. When she saw me, she looked away. The substitute asked me to stay after class. "I've been told you're exceptionally talented. Would you help me grade worksheets?" It felt like something breaking loose in my chest.